Good morning. It is Monday. It's Monday. Wow. You can tell it's a Monday. It's Monday, April 9th. And this is Guy's Daily Drive. Okay, welcome to Guy's Daily Drive. Didn't do one over the weekend, which is kind of surprising. I was not really out much this weekend. The weather was, it was okay. But other than, the usual stuff that I go out for, going to the grocery store or what have you, I didn't spend a lot of time outside, but I will tell you what I did spend a lot of time doing. And it was mostly related to podcasting and audio in podcasting. If you remember the last daily drive I did, I talked about wanting to switch things up to a more analog type of solution, where, taking some of the programs that I use for some of the various things I do, like Farrago for sound clips, Skype and Discord for voice over IP calling, and of course my microphone, my wonderful Heil PR40 microphone that I have connected up to a cloud lifter, which then connects up to a Behringer Xenix 1204 USB mixer, which I'm starting to think I don't really need anymore. I've had a couple of problems, and I'm not sure whether it's related to the mixer or the cable. I get the feeling it's probably the cable, so that'll be my first thing to try. All of my inputs and outputs disappeared. I think I talked about this the last time. And when I unplugged the mixer via the USB cable and then plugged it back in, everything came back. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. So what I did was, last weekend I had gone out to a particular store that is related to music and guitars. I probably don't have to tell you what the name of the store is now. And I got some RCA to TRS cables, with the thought being that I would take this Behringer UCA 200 series audio interface. It plugs in via USB, and then it has 2 RCA ins and 2 RCA outs. And I would use this for Skype. I would use this to bring Skype in, and then I would also use it to send audio out to Skype. Well, it was a complete disaster. Between that cable and another cable that I was using an output for to try to get Farrago sound clips from the computer into the mixer, and then I was going to do a whole mix minus and have my microphone and Farrago go to the Skype output, and nothing was working the way I wanted it to. I was getting this loud electric hum via the cable that I was using from this other thing that not even worth going into. So it was a disaster. Nothing was working the way I wanted to. And one of the reasons why I have gone or tried to go to an analog solution is that the whole process of audio to digital conversion of either audio or video takes time. And I was talking about this last time with latency. Well, that was a problem with the old computer that I had, the Mac Pro, but that's a whole nother. I keep going off on these tangents, but it's not really a problem with the new iMac, and it's the difference between a 2.8 gigahertz 4-core processor Xeon, but it is still just 2.8 gigahertz, and it is an 8-year-old computer. And the iMac, which is a 4.2 gigahertz quad-core i7, much faster bus, all the bells and whistles. So I thought, I'm killing myself here trying to work out how to do analog audio with this new computer to avoid latency, when I hadn't really tried a more digital solution using various tools that I have, which I will get into. So I scrapped all the stuff that I had done, and this was a couple of hours work. Took off all the cables. The only thing I have plugged into the mixer now is the XLR cable from my microphone. So, hold on a second. Guy's Daily Drive. So, at that point I broke out 2 pieces of software that I've also talked about, that it's amazing software. And so far it's only available for the Mac. And that's Rogue Amoeba's Audio Hijack and Loopback. And between these 2 programs, and if you buy them both together in a bundle, it costs a little less than what you would spend on a halfway decent audio mixer. Not a great audio mixer, just a halfway decent one. So I started playing around with all the virtual ins and outs. I got rid of some of the loopback aggregate devices that I had put together, other than the one that I use for GarageBand to separate my microphone, Skype, and Farrago, so that they all 3 go directly into GarageBand on separate tracks. Still have that one. Need to make sure it works after all the changes that I did. Then I added one and set it up as automatic, because what I needed it for was the input for Ecamm Live, which is live streaming software that I use for the Mac to the Future Go livecast on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you. So then I started trying to figure out how to get all the various audio sources that I use in Ecamm Live software. And in a lot of ways, I make it harder on myself than it has to be, but there's reasons behind that. Ecamm actually works really, really well with Skype. When you connect it up via Skype, they actually give you a Skype audio channel. So you've got whatever audio input that you've selected in Live, and it automatically gives you a Skype audio channel. The problem is, when you bring up other sources of video, it mutes your input, but doesn't mute the Skype input. That's a problem. So I wanted everything, all the various audio sources, to come in over one channel, and then I would use that channel to go to Ecamm Live, so that when I went to a commercial or the end of the program or what have you, and it mutes my the input that I'm using from my microphone, it will also mute the Skype input. So I set up 2 different audio hijack sessions. That's what they call them, sessions. I've got one session that's for just Skype, and the only time that I need this is when I'm doing the MyMac Podcast, because I don't need all the bells and whistles for the MyMac Podcast that I do for live casting. So using Discord and Skype, that's the input into this session, and then it goes to some noise gate software, dynamic compressor, and then it also goes to this other compressor, and then I put a little meter on it so I can see what the output is, and then that just goes out to where I need it to go to. And I only need that when I'm podcasting with Gaz. But for the live one, I took that same one and copied it into another session. And then through this long, convoluted process, so I now have Skype and Discord, Farrago, and my microphone all tied together going to a single output that is my input for Ecamm Live. And I can also use that if I want to for OBS or other live casting software if I want to. And it's actually pretty awesome the way it looks. If I think of it, I will right about here. I will put in a picture. So I took a screenshot of it. I will put that screenshot in here so you guys can kind of see what it's doing. And probably what I will do in the near future is do a video that I'll put up on YouTube so that people can understand the process and see where it was I was going and see how it all works. And that way they can do the same thing if that's something that they're interested in doing. Anyway, hopefully this will be the last Guy's Daily Drive that I do in relation to audio. For a while, I've been kind of obsessed on audio. And this will make, I can't even tell you how many different changes I have made in my audio setup just over the last 8 years that I've been doing the MyMac Podcast. But it's been a lot. It's been a whole lot. So, thanks for watching. If you would like to donate to help offset some of the costs for doing all this crazy stuff, I have a Ko-fi page, ko-fi/MacParrot. You can buy me a coffee. It's $3, and it's a one-time charge. Or if you would like to make it more long-term, I have a, I almost said Discord, Patreon account. Just look up my name there, Guy Searle, or MacParrot. You can send me a little bit of cash to keep things going the way that up they are, whatever that means. You can send me an email to guy@mymac.com, probably. You can also send me an email to guy@mttfgo.com. You can find me not only here, you can find me on the MyMac Podcast that I do with Gaz. You can find me on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook when I'm doing the Mac to the Future Go live cast, and I will talk more about this probably on that show that I do with Warren Sklar. And what else? I guess that's about it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all next time on Guy's Daily Drive.